it's another episode of That Works Vehicle. It's much closer to being a works vehicle, believe me. Right, okay, enjoy this episode. And before we start, check you subscribe. You might want to wait to the end of the feature and then subscribe if you really like it. Recommend you do, because you're going to get loads more content like this, and it's a good laugh. Now, if you fancy contacting me, churchhouseclassics, and that's all one word, @gmail.com. Bear in mind there's only one of me. It does take me a while to get back, business first, but I do answer every email. If you fancy supporting the channel or just buying me a pint, then there's a PayPal me link scrolling at the bottom of the screen here. Both of the links, the email and the PayPal me link, are in the description below this video, providing you're using your computer, of course. Enjoy it! Right, Sunday now. Now, I need to sort this mess out in here. Some of that is where I've welded up the repair. In fact, you can see it here. Nice new repairs, new bits of steel and so forth for the back end. Just being attacked by the rubber. Up here we've got a nice big hole. They all do that, sir. And then we've got a nice big hole down here on the end of the sill. So realistically, I guess what I need to do is chop along the top edge here. Just take the entire panel out and repair it on the bench and then refit it. I have got a repair panel. These Froggett's Easy On panels sell these, and it sort of goes in roughly, closes the end of the sill, but it doesn't really cover off the full extent of all the holes in this. And I might as well do this properly, hadn't I? So I've bent over the two flaps on the end of the sill, so they're all ready. So realistically, I think I'll just get the angle grinder along the top edge here. Let's take it off. Right, so it's out. This edge here is the edge that goes inboard. That's the top edge. That's the outer wing edge. And as you can see, it did put up a bit of a fight to come out. And the more I was going at it, the more I was thinking, do you know what, this whole thing is a piece of shit. Which then meant that I've ended up cutting out a chunk of the lower arch or upper sill section, because I just want to do it properly. You can see up here also things have started to kind of fall apart up here, so it all needs doing properly. I'm not bodging this thing. Well, I'm not even patching it. So I've cut out that much, and then the idea is I can weld that in place to close off the inside of the car. Okay, can you see that? Hopefully you can. Once that's in place, then I can do the arch. Once I've done the arch, before I do the arch, because I need access to the underside of the car, I need to chop out this section here. You can see where it started to crack along here. So, Mr. Tappy, just showing at the edge of the floor there is really not very happy. So I can imagine that I am probably going to end up chopping a chunk of the floor out along with that section there and just weld a new bit in, and it's done. Not quite at the end of the welding yet, are we, Richard? Land Rover Discovery 1 from the mid-90s. Are you ever at the end of the welding? And of course then we start finding bits like putty, probably window putty, that have gone in to a hole, but these always rust here and there as well. You can see it's rusted out there. So I think once I've done this bit and the arches together, I might just lob a piece of metal in there and there, get it MOT'd and fix this stuff at a later point. But I think you'll agree with me that really is at the end of its life. It once it's out, it looks a lot worse than it was when it was in. Right, another piece for the scrap bin. Let's weld that bit in next, and then I've got the inside of this. What I'll do is I'll plug weld it from the outside and then seam it to the edges around that rectangle down there. That then should seal up the inside of the car. There was a chunk down at the bottom there as well, I didn't notice that. Anyway, we can fix that. It's not rusty holes, it's gaps between panels that I've welded on. So I chopped out a big repair section that I put in there, is what I've effectively done. Chop that out and then I can weld in a new bit. So 1 patch rather than 15. Right, that's that closing panel nicely welded in now. So a nice single piece of steel rather than the plethora. Looking good. I know there's still a hole at the bottom there. And now I need to start working on this. It's just fucking depressing, isn't it? So the way I'm going to attack this is, there's the cross member there, the boot cross member. Okay, that often causes rot along its width. Now, this boot floor, no way does this whole boot floor need replacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut probably there, along the natural seam here, because I'll aim to repair up against the edge of the wheel arch. Oh, fuck's sake, it's just, I mean, look at it. I know, Richard, you bought a fucking old Discovery, didn't you? There's got to be easier ways, there really has. This carpet's not going to behave, is it? Never mind. I'm not welding anymore today. I've had enough of welding. That can go up there. Get up there, you bastard. Right, now we can see. Yeah. I'm afraid they all do it. So I think really, realistically, because I can see pinholes all the way through here, probably cut along this rib to the cross member and out, make up a repair section, weld it back in. Right, we're getting ready to weld this bastard back in again. So cleaned up all the edges, de-rusted where I need to de-rust, cut all of the rusty chunks out, including the floor support there, which ran underneath the rear floor here, and I think that is a floor support for the flip down inward facing rear seats. I've not got those on this, so it's gone. This floor's going to get replaced probably in a couple of years time anyway. It's a winter beater. I just want to get it on the bloody road. So I'm going to do this repair in 2 sections. Let's go and get long shadows today. It's not even lunchtime yet. Oh no, it is. It's just gone lunchtime. So there's one piece I've made up. Just zinc primed the inside of it. Give me a fighting chance. And let me squeeze in here. Probably could have done without putting this bloody seat in, I'll be honest. That is going to go more or less there, like that. Okay, I'll clamp it into place, weld that along the arch, weld it here, weld it up there. And then I'm going to put a flat piece from here with a lip on the edge of it just to join up with that. That makes sense? And I'll do something with that. I don't know what it is yet. It's not going to be a factory original. And then I need to drill all of these fixings out. You bastards. I got a nice bright day. Oh, lovely. Right, I need to move this. The reason I need to move this is I want to get it pressure washed underneath in preparation for its MOT. Strap in, can move over there. I'm rather hoping this is going to start up. We'll see. I haven't done anything with the engine since the last time it started. Has it still got oil in it? It has. Could do with an oil change. Check the coolant levels. Battery on. Let's see if you go, because you want to. Where are we? We're all a bit of a mess in here at the moment. Oh, it's a lot of a mess. Right. It was thinking about it. Glow plugs again. Might need to just put a little bit of boost into that battery, old chap. I've actually got a boost pack. I bought one. Where is it? It's at home. So let's charge this up, go and have a cup of coffee, and we'll give it another go. Right, charged up. Are we going to start? Yes. Oh, down here. There's a few things I need to fix still. Started. Right, let's move it. It moves. No real surprise. It's only been sat there for a couple of months. Unlike some of this other stuff in my yard. But yes. What I might do is put a strap around the corner of that bumper. See if I can't pull it out a little bit. Because it's a bit of a mess. And a pressure wash. Ooh, muddy. Might have a little bit of a clear out in here. Or what I might do this afternoon actually is put the headlining back together. No, headlining's going to go back in after the pressure wash. Because I don't know, we have got some leaking going on in here, but then these things always flipping leak, don't they? Get the condensation on the inside of the roof. Been sat there for too long. Right, where's the fuel filler on this thing? It should be on this side, shouldn't it? Ah, need the key. Right, sweet. I've got new window rubbers to go in. They're sitting over there. I wonder if the windows still work. Yay! So we need to have a massive tidy up and really get this thing to a step closer being on the road. Now, interior doesn't necessarily need to go in for an MOT. I wouldn't mind getting the back seat in. Right, we need to move you. Well, it's all very clean underneath now. Giving it a proper good jet off. Chassis in good order. Nothing particularly nasty to be seen anywhere, according to the chap who did it. So what I need to do next, really, I need to get the MOT sorted out. Probably need to paint under here. Get that sorted out to winterise it. Needs a mud flap on that side. Not for the MOT, but just for general use. Put the sill covers on. I have drilled out all of the fixings for the rear seats. So remember, I snapped off all the bolts, drilled most of them out. Most of them have gone back to quarter UNF. A couple I had to expand out to 5, whatever it is, 16ths. What's that? It shuts. Yes, and then I'm just putting all the bits and bobs together so I can get this MOT. I'm probably just going to try and tug the front bumper. I'm going to touch a strap round it to the gate post and see what happens. Probably not a lot, but we'll give it a go. If I can get it roughly into the right sort of shape again, it will do for the winter. Just warming it up at the moment. We're not getting an awful lot of activity though off the temperature sender. I'll expect that to be warm by now. The other thing I need is I need the cover for the cooling fan. The top hose isn't warm yet. Heater hose is warming up. Top hose is still cold, so the thermostat's not opened yet. And then a fucking good service. Yeah. Well, the weather is most inclement. Yeah, swimming pool. Let's see how the swimming pool's getting on. That's doing nice. It's dropped an inch from yesterday. Fuck's sake. Right, this car is going for an MOT this week. So I have in preparation for that. I've not done the cam belt change because I just can't be fucking arsed, and it's freezing cold. I need the car MOT, then I can sort these other little bits and bobs out as and when I need to. I've replaced the tensioner, kept the old tensioner because it's only the bearing in the pulley that's gone, so I can fix that. Put a new drive belt on. Took the various bits off the cooling system and flushed an incredible amount of black sludge out of the cooling system, both off the engine and the radiator. So I've got that now. So the water's going into the top of the radiator, coming out of the engine clean, and vice versa. So good old back flush there. Headlining went in. Not my most beautiful job, run out of glue, but it will do the job. Certainly not customer good. And then coming into the workshop, and it is freezing today. That's the thermostat I took out. Now, when I put that in hot water, it did open, but then it took an absolute eternity to close again. So I'm going to guess, just going to guess, that that is scrap. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that seal. Oh, not seen anything like that before. I bought a new thermostat, 300 TDI thermostat, ERR3291G for genuine. And I also bought a temp sensor just in case the temp sensor on the engine wasn't working, but I think that is working. I think it's the thermostat that was jammed open, which is why we were getting no kind of temperature out of it at all. So I'm going to go and brave the 15 minutes of it not... might just start pouring down again. If it has, I'm just going to drop that bonnet back down again. It's just in the air, isn't it? What a bastard of a day. Right, okay, I'm going to go and put the thermostat in. And I can put coolant back in, and we're a step closer. I need to put the lights on the back bumper as well, but just not today. I'm not lying down in the ground today doing this. And I've got some nice ethylene glycol antifreeze there to go in too. Right, we had a fail. It's not a horrendous fail. A couple of the points I'm a little bit irritated about, but as a major defects, headlamp aimed too high. That's easy enough to fix. A couple of adjusters. Seatbelt anchorage prescribed is inadequately repaired rear, near side and offside. I'll go into that in a second. Vehicle structure inadequately repaired such that structural rigidity is significantly reduced near side rear. I'll go over that in a second. Windscreen damage, yeah, we know about that. Body mounting, fixing insecure. I've forgotten to do up the front sill mount on the driver's side front. Tyre cracked, well, they're all going to get replaced anyway. Exhaust has a minor leak of gases, front flexi. Shock absorber, lower rear bushes worn. I hadn't done them up. God's sake, Richard. This is kind of what happens when you do your own project, like 5 minutes at the time over a period of 6 months. So I'm just done the rear shock absorbers up, and that's fixed that. And then body panel slightly loose offside rear. Now, I think you might be being a bit fussy about this. So that basically fixes on top of the plastic rail. Let's turn the welder off for a second because it's making a load of noise. Because I decided the easiest way to fix this is actually just to weld the fuck out of it. Now, bits he's irritated about. Chassis repair section, right on the trailing edge there, there's a gap. Up here, I'm not as happy with this side as I am with the other side. He's not happy that that edge up there, the shiny edge, isn't welded. Couldn't see the other side of it. I am going to weld it, take a photograph of it, and then you can see that I rushed through this because I've not even painted it, let alone seam seal it. This is, again, part of me not kind of going through and finishing the job. So on the inside I've had a look. I pulled the trim back at the moment, and because it's seam sealed on the inside, you can't see that either, so you can't tell whether it's welded on the inside and the outside. So I'm just going to weld it. On this side, I honestly don't know what he's on about. I really don't know what he's on about. So there's the seatbelt mounting. That's more than 30 centimetres down to the bottom of the wheel arch, and this is where this is just a splash guard. So I need to have a chat with him. You can see it's been working very well as a splash guard. I need to have a chat with him and find out what it is he's expecting out of that, because it's a splash guard. Oh dear, other than that, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lay a piece of steel over the top of that hole and just weld the fuck out of it. I might even just build it up with weld. We'll give it a go. It's difficult getting in there with the torch, as you can see, but we'll do it and then weld up those edges. You even see in there? I don't know. Seam sealed it, welded it all the way around, seam sealed it. I'm going to not stone guard it until it's come back from the MOT. I have adjusted the headlights. I will talk to him about this seatbelt anchorage for striped area is inadequately repaired rear. Oh, that's good. Cheers, Ben. And body mounting has been tightened up. Tyres slightly cracked, not bothered about because they're all going to get swapped over anyway. Shock absorbers have been tightened up. And I'll talk to him about body panel. Other than that, we're going for a retest in an hour. Pass, you bastard. You need to. It's done. Well, it's not done. It's road legal. Got it road taxed. Passed its MOT, as you know. I've put a couple more bits and bobs on the inside, trying to sort the interior trim out. Cleaned the dash up just a little bit from my missus gets in here. I don't want her to screech at me. Peeled off all of this white insulation that was around the doors. Do you remember? Because that was sitting against this. Now, I'll tell you how good that is. If you, on your car, when you've got a rubber seal like this, put a plastic bag from the roof and over the door and then shut the door. And I guarantee your car will fill up with water. Anyway, we've got all of the interior lights and everything are all in. Although that one there is not working, I don't know why. It was working. I found the tow bar electrics. That's them just there, looking great. So I'll sort that out tomorrow because it's needs a set of tyres. So all of these 205 tyres, I think I haven't got a date on this one. This one's flat anyway. I can't get any air stay in this one. No date. 235s on the back. I'm going to keep one of those as a spare. I'm going to put a set of Wrangler 235s on it. Bullet hole still needs to be fixed. I don't know, it's just we are where we are with it. Oh look, that backlight's come on now. Maybe it only comes on with the driver's door. I don't know. Hang on a sec, indicators are on. That's no good. Might need to charge the battery up, Richard. Interior light goes off. Interior light comes on. Right, okay. Gonna go out for a run in this and just check it's all behaving itself and get new tyres put on it this week. And there's a whole list of jobs that need to be done. So I've got the new window seals. It needs painting. Certainly the roof needs painting and the bonnet needs painting. I'll do the prep. Steve could do all the painting. I can't imagine there's going to be too much aggravation prep in that. There's no rust on it, on the bonnet that is. So get that done and use it. What do you reckon? Yeah. I forgot, we need to do a top tip. So sun visor, driver's side sun visor, that came off this particular car, and it's shagged. And I couldn't find any Disco 1 300 series sun visors that were anywhere near the right side of a sensible price. So, well, that doesn't look too bad, Richard. What is it? It's a Disco 2 sun visor. And they fit beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. There you go, Disco 2. So imagine there's quite a bit of Disco 2 will fit in here as we go around. Now the other thing I'm looking for is the digital clock is broken. I actually quite fancy an analog clock in there. I don't know about you, I prefer an analog clock. I'm of that age where analog works beautifully for me. Anyway, that's it. I'm going home. I've got all my emails to answer, thousands of them, and other bits and bobs to do. crying out loud, I've broken it already. Right, okay, it's not terminal, folks. Rest thy sphincters. It's blown the high pressure pipe onto the power steering pump. So what's typically happens with this is when air goes in on the high pressure side, it tends to pump air rather than fluid, and then all of the fluid comes out the top of the reservoir. Now if we look down at the side of the block down here, you probably can't see it, but I can see the oil has sprayed backwards and onto the block. Well, there's a high pressure pipe that runs from the reservoir to the underside of the pump, and I suspect it's that one that's gone. It could well be the pipe from the pump to the to the actual box itself. So there's the box down there. So I'm going to have to take some stuff off, take the air filter out, take the intercooler pipe off, and I should be able to see what's going on. I've yet to get it off, but it looks like it's the pipe that goes from the reservoir to the pump, which is down there underneath the alternator. I need to get underneath to go and get it off, but the clip on the pump was loose, which would explain it. There's my torch there as well, look at that. That's not been down there for months, that's just been down there just now. Right, so I'm going to get that pipe off, check it for leaks, check it for splits, clean the area up, put it back on with a decent clip and reprime the system, and let's hope we get power steering back. Also reminds me, while we're here, I didn't paint this in a wing. Did the other one. Needs to do this. Right, so the pipe's off, it's been cleaned up. It looks relatively new, but it's actually got a date stamp on it of 1294. So it's an original pipe, but I'm going to lob it back on again. I'll do the clip up this time, and we'll see where we go to. All connected back up again. Gave it a little bit of a degrease. Quick clean up around the area, just prime the system up, and let's see if it still leaks. Keys is what we need. There are keys, there are there. Grubby hands. It's a problem with having a workshop filled with everyone else's stuff, apart from my stuff. I've got to sort workshop space out. It needs to be done. Right. It should start. Take that off there before it falls into the fan and puts itself into a nice steady orbit. I might need to bleed it on the top of the pump. Right, so no, it hasn't fixed it. If you can see, it's dripping off the union on the underside of the pump there, so it looks like the pump's going to have to fucking come off to find out what's wrong with it. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? But the pipe is no longer leaking. Something's gone wrong, hasn't it? And my torch has gone flat. This thing, it's amazing, this little torch. It's a Mac Tools torch, and the thing is just constantly fucking flat. Battery lasts about 10 minutes. It's probably because I leave it on underneath the car all day long. Right, so I'm going to have to part this thing up and get the pump off it. I'll swap with that, I think.